Okay, so Penn, we went to Fort Vaux, the big French bunker built into the hill. What did you think about that?
I always thought that it really showed the conditions that these soldiers had to go through during the war, being in cramped, awful bedding. Well, it's so rainwater is covered down on them. There's rats everywhere, and I think the underground tunnels were the best part of that.
Yeah.
Really showing how deep this stuff went fort into this fort. I also think that the last letter that the soldiers in Fort Vaux sent to their commanders, which basically read, "We need reinforcements, or we need to leave." And then they got a response from their commander that said, "You can't. You have to stay there for the good of the war." It's very poignant.
All right, so Monique, we went to the cemetery and the ossuary at Douaumont. What did that make you think of?
It's just overwhelming to see the amount of people that die there, even though you're told the number all the time, and it's such a large number anyways. But to see those
1,600 crosses.
1,600 crosses, it puts it all back in perspective that these are real people who are brothers, fathers, husbands, who had an entire life, who had a face, are now gone from society. And it's absolutely just, I can't fathom it. And even to know that even now there's 100,000 bodies out there that still haven't been discovered, and they're still unknown, they're still buried, is just crazy.
Okay, so Jackson, we went to Beaumont Hamel yesterday. What were your thoughts on that?
Beaumont Hamel was a really special place for me to go and visit. It really spoke to me a lot because it reminded me how Canadians are such patriotic people. They talked about the Newfoundlanders being just a band of family, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just bound together by like brothers and uncles and just families that went and served for what they wanted, which was freedom. I think that's like really a strong message that I'll take home. They didn't feel, of course they were scared, but they stuck to like their beliefs and they volunteered. There's no force of them having to go to war, and they just went against what seemed to be like impossible odds, knowing that Britain had a very tough time moving forward, and they just stuck together. And I think that's really symbolic of who we are as a nation.
All right, Alex, so from our visit to Vimy yesterday, what do you think you'll remember the most?
I think I'll remember like all the people from other countries looking at us, because we were all flying our Canadian flags and wearing our maple leafs, making a statement, and everyone was looking at us. It was like they were I feel like they were impressed, and I was super proud to be wearing the maple leaf and making it known that we were Canadian, and we were super proud to be Canadian. And what else I'll take away from is the monument itself was just extremely it looked really good, and it really does a really good job of representing the effort that went into the assault and the effort that the Canadians working together for the first time. It does a really good job representing all the hard work and dedication and the sacrifice of the Canadian soldiers in World War I.
Okay, so Mark, you visited Vimy once before, and you did your project on Vimy. What was different about visiting it this time?
Well, coming back to Vimy, it becomes a lot more meaningful, especially because my project was about the meaning of the separate statues on the monument.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see at the back of the statue the two mourners, I understand the significance of that, because it's mothers and fathers grieving the loss of like the soldiers who have fallen.
Mm-hmm.
So when So looking at it again, like for a second time, it goes from not really understanding about the monument or the significance of it to then being able to understand all of it, because all the statues on the two pylons, they represent Canadian virtues at the time. So it adds a whole new level of meaning to the monument.
So Janelle, tell me about what we saw today.
So we went to Hill 62.
Yep.
And it was basically a preserved trenches. But what was really neat about it was that there were tunnels in it. And it was really awesome going through them, because you could just imagine what it would have been like for a soldier actually in there during the Great War, because the ground was mud, it was super wet, a bunch of puddles, getting your shoes all muddy. It was dark, and you could just imagine the artillery just coming down and being made. It would be so loud and would just echo throughout the entire tunnel. You could just imagine how scary and horrible it would have actually been.
Hey Lachlan, so what's your takeaway from the World War I sites that we visited?
My main takeaway from the World War I sites, whether it's a grave site or it's a battlefield, is that it's a figurative or literal scar for Canadian history, except it's not the type of scar where it leaves a negative mark on our society. It's a positive one that kind of drives the idea of being proud to be a Canadian. And on top of that, it makes you just want to have the title that is being Canadian.